Hi, 3 and 4-year-old leaders. We're preparing for April 12th in our series called It's All About Jesus. In this series, we've been finishing up with the prophets. Today, we get to celebrate Easter. Thank you so much for being here with us to pour into a group of kids and to introduce them to the gospel, many of them possibly for the very first time. As we get to celebrate Easter, today we're looking at Jesus's crucifixion and resurrection. And I am so excited to get to share this on Easter with our kids, the way we get to do that this week. You will watch your video. You have some great notes within your leader guide to help you talk about the Easter story. I encourage you to read the notes in there so that you can make sure that you are focusing on the resurrection, because without the resurrection, Jesus would just be a man who died on the cross. And while that is significant and his death was very significant, what is most important for us to remember is how he showed his godness in coming back to life and his resurrection. All right, so in your small group today, you have an Easter scavenger hunt that you can start out with your kids, and realize that today may be some of your kids' very first time to play this game. So maybe you want to give everybody the chance to find everything once. You should have plenty of time. Usually Easter services are a little long just because we've got people coming here, there, and everywhere. So you have some Easter grass. I encourage you to leave it in the bag unless you like cleaning up after Easter grass. You have a little bunny. You have some flowers, a sunshine, a butterfly, a little chick, a cross, a bucket, and you have different colored eggs. And so what you're going to do is get one of your helpers to help hide all those objects around your room. Encourage kids to take turns finding all of those objects. That's a way for them to get to know you and each other as they are getting into your small group today. All right, and then your small group activity, you're going to have a bucket full of eggs. And there is enough for each kid to hunt for one of each color egg plus a patterned egg. All the patterned eggs are not necessarily the same color, but they do have a pattern already on the egg. And so what each kid is going to do as you hide your eggs is they're going to search for one of each color egg. They have a green, a pink, a yellow, a purple, and a blue that they can put in their bag that you have for them. And then they will also find a patterned egg. Now, all of the colored eggs, they don't have anything in them because we let them hunt Easter eggs last weekend with us, and we expect that they are going to hunt Easter eggs with their families. So we want to concentrate on what's in this special egg today. They can take those eggs home with them if they'd like to. We don't need them back. If they want to leave them, they can do that too. And so after you're done hunting eggs, have your kids gather around in a circle, have them open up their special egg and look to see what's inside. It is a bracelet that says God keeps his promises. And what I want you to do is help kids put their bracelet on and encourage them to use this as a way to share the gospel with people who ask them what their bracelet is for or where they got it. Help them to tell the Easter story. And what you can use is your poster that helps you tell it. And so what I would do is encourage you many times to have kids repeat after you as you point to each picture so that they can tell the Easter story on their own. This first one, God created, and Adam and Eve sinned. God promised to bless and save his people. God pursued his people and told what the Savior Jesus would do. God sent his son Jesus to pay the price for sin. Jesus delivered on God's promise to Abraham, just as the prophets said he would. He died and rose again to offer life to all who believe. And so what you should do is practice saying that over and over and over again so that when they go home and people ask them what their bracelet is for, they can tell other people what that means. And again, if they want to keep their bracelet on, they can. Might be a little big for a few kids, and tell them I'm sorry. I tried my very best to find stuff that would fit everyone. They can take their bag home. Their bag invites them to come back next week and talks about some of the things we're doing as a church really soon. And then you could do your memory verse if you want to. I kind of recommend that you just introduce it as a way that we look to the Bible as a way to know what God is directing us to do, and so that we can get to know who Jesus is. On Easter, we know that we have a larger crowd of kids than usual, and many of them do not know what we're doing or how we're doing it. And so let's assume that nobody knows what a memory verse is today, and just introduce to them that when we learn words like this from the Bible, what we're doing is making sure that we acknowledge that the Bible is true, and that we look to the Bible to figure out what God says about who Jesus is and who he wants us to be. Then you can pray with your kiddos and hang out with them until their families come and get them. Thank you so much for leading today. Happy Easter. Have a great week. I'll see you soon.